Regardless of the sport you play, every athlete is different and you cannot train everyone the same. One athlete might be naturally strong but they're not very fast, so they can't use their strength effectively in a boxing match, for example, or in a wrestling match. One athlete might have superb speed but they're not very physically strong, so they can't generate maximum power. One athlete might have exceptional cardio but their strength sucks. One athlete might have exceptional strength, exceptional cardio and speed, all of that, but they're a terrible student. They can't listen to instructions and they're just reckless all over the place. Then you have another athlete who's not very gifted in the department of athleticism, but they're an exceptional student and their understanding for movement and strategy is exceptional. You see? All athletes have their strengths and weaknesses and they all need individual approaches. You can't train everyone the same. The differences can sometimes be profound, and we need to keep this in mind both as athletes and coaches. If we take one training idea, a program, a philosophy, whatever you want to call it, there will always be one population who will respond great to it, another population might have a medium response to it, and one population might not respond at all to it. It will not have any effect, or it might be low at best. This is why the importance of individualization is so high when we're training athletes. As long as the sport it has a metabolic demand, the importance of individualization is there, especially the more experienced the athlete gets. We'll get more into that later. And like I said in my previous video, this is also the reason why you should be careful with like strong rules in sports, like, oh, powerlifting is the best method for this, or you should only do the high bar back squat, never the front squat, or if you're an endurance runner, you should never do strength training. You should only do Olympic weightlifting if you want to develop explosive power. Like, this explains why it doesn't work that way. Every puzzle is constructed differently. Every athlete is different and they all need different approaches. You can't have a one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to sports. A good coach, in my not so humble opinion, he will identify the strengths and weaknesses of his athletes and he will create a plan based on the individual. For example, one athlete is very strong but he lacks in speed. Okay, let's work on speed for you. One athlete has good speed but he lacks strength. Okay, let's work on strength for you. While a third athlete might lack both, or he might lack flexibility, whatever. Okay, I have a plan for that. You see? He just sees what they lack and he works on that exclusively. While a bad coach, they might be biased with one training method exclusively, like one ideology. Maybe they have a background in Olympic weightlifting, powerlifting, CrossFit, calisthenics, whatever you want, and they will only stick to that and disregard everything else. They have a very narrow vision of everything. It reminds me of this quote, I don't know who the hell said it, but to a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail, and they function that way too. Like, they can't look at the situation rationally and provide everyone with an individualized approach without having this personal bias towards it. And this is why I recommend against copying the exercise programs of famous athletes. Let's say you have this celebrity athlete that you look up to a lot, you want to become like them, so you copy everything they do. I mean, it's good to have an idol, but their physiology, their genetics, their tolerance for intensity and ability to recover, like, those factors, they are different from you. You probably need another solution. You can't be copying them and expect to have the same results. We are all different. Every puzzle is different. So let's say you're this boxer who's tall and lanky, you have chimpanzee arms, and your favorite boxer is Mike Tyson, who's short and stocky, who likes to fight on the inside and uses head movement, the peekaboo style of boxing. Like, you probably shouldn't be doing that. You should be using your range. You're a rangy fighter, you see? Individualization is one of the most important aspects when it comes to sports. Like, if you can find your strengths and use it to your best advantage, that is how you succeed as an athlete. Like I talked about in my last video, generalized programs will only work for you as long as you're a novice. The newer the athlete is, the bigger the potential for growth. Period. Like, the more advanced you get, the harder it will be. Average athletes, they will grow from average approaches. Champions, they are advanced, they are not average, and therefore they need advanced approaches. They need creative solutions, they need a lot of harder work. Like, it is a lot of experimenting into this. It's not an easy task. One of the hardest jobs in the world is being a world-class athlete and breaking out of those inevitable plateaus and making new records consistently. Because like I said, your body, it is so accustomed to things. It can take everything you throw at it. It is so solid. It will just eat it up. It is like this bacteria, like I said, that is immune to everything. Like, it is a hard task. So the newer you are, the easier it will be to improve. When you get to a certain level, it's gonna get harder and harder. And take all of those graphs that I show you in my videos with a pinch of salt. I mean, I'm not in this laboratory with $1 million equipment doing a bunch of Nobel Prize stuff. I mean, any idiot with Adobe Illustrator can make a graph. I am just trying to simplify my points with those to make my videos more understandable. Yeah, thanks for watching.